chat with Alex in San Diego, California. He's up first. Al, good afternoon. How are you today, pal? What do you have? Alex.
Not much, Mad Dog. I'm at work right now. It's about the NCAA tournament,
Yes.
particularly in the Midwest.
Yes.
Yeah. In my opinion,
Right.
I don't think Loyola or Oregon State don't want to play Syracuse. And the only reason is that's with Jim Boeheim. Because right now they're looking at us and saying, "Hey, we want Syracuse. It's so easy." But they're going to get more what they bargained for with Jim Boeheim.
Yeah, right now, Alex. Right now, good call. Right now, Oregon State and the Loyola are not thinking about the regional final. They're thinking about each other. So, right now, Moser and of course the OSU team. I forget their head coach's name. They're not thinking necessarily about, well, we got to be careful here. Let's get through this one. Then we got Syracuse sitting there. They're not thinking about that. They're thinking about one game and one game only, and that is the one they're playing against each other Saturday afternoon at 2:20. That's all they're thinking about. They can prepare against each other. That's a break for Oregon State because Loyola is difficult to prepare for. Tony in Hoboken, New Jersey. Tony, good afternoon. Your turn. How are you today, pal? Tony?
Always good to listen to you and speak to you especially. I just wanted to tell you, I got a couple of bucks. I put a couple of bucks on some teams in the NCAA tournament for the first time early on. Usually I watch the Final Four and, of course, a championship game. What fun. I mean, I had no idea. I would never have watched a kid like Luke Garza play. And I put the game on. I had a couple of bucks on the game. What a blast. I mean, all these little stories that you see in these smaller schools playing these giant schools. I just had no idea they were that much fun until, again, I put a couple of bucks on it, watched it with a little something on the line. And what a ball. I mean, these early
That always, I hate to say it, at this point in my life, that always helps a little bit when you can, when you have a rooting interest per se. And I didn't have a good day last night, Tony, because of the fact, or yesterday, because there was only one good game. The Michigan LSU game was a good game. Other than that, they didn't have a lot of good games. They had bad games last night. Other than that, the tournament's been very good. Now, I do think that you got a little issue here forthcoming because, you still got, you got Loyola in there, not Illinois. You got Oral Roberts in there, not Florida, against Arkansas, which would have been interesting. There was a couple of spots. Got Oregon State in there instead of OSU, instead of Oklahoma State. There are a couple of spots here that you'd be a little worried. No Virginia. There's a couple of spots that you'd be a little worried about. Sometimes the upset is good and good call, but you don't like the back-to-back upsets. Again, Baylor and Nova, I would have preferred Purdue. I just think Nova's banged up a lot. It'd be a hard game for them. Arkansas and Oral Roberts. I can't see Oral Roberts winning another one. The Loyola game against Oregon State is, I'm not in love with that game. Everybody loves that game. I'm not. Syracuse and Houston is what it is. UCLA and Alabama is, it's what it is. Michigan against Florida State is a decent game. USC Oregon's a decent game. Gonzaga and Creighton. I mean, it's not bad. It's not terrible. Let's continue with calls. Dominic is in North Carolina. He says hello, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Dom, good afternoon. How are you today? What's going on? Dominic.
Very good, Chris. Chris, I love when you talk baseball, and I especially love your point. You were talking about Lindor and the distractions, and that you'd be better if you got $400 million. My question to you, Chris, is how could you be better?
Well, I could be better. Now, the point about Lindor is you turn down $300 million because you don't like it, and then you start the year, 5 for 40, and your team is not playing great. He's going to get a bad feel of New York because although there won't be that many fans there, the Met fan, although they love Lindor, would be a little annoyed by it. So got to keep that in mind, too.
I don't know that the Met fans love Lindor, especially right now. I will say I'm very glad we did not sign Springer, though. With his muscle strain, he would have fit in nicely.
Yes, 100%. Mets always get a lot of injuries. Now, as it turns out, the Springer thing, it was a good move not getting him signed. I agree. He's going to be out a couple of months. Go ahead.
I cannot believe how much time is lost in baseball for muscle strains. I understand ligament tears. I understand, fractures. I understand twisted ankles. I understand all that. But strains, I think Elias Sports Bureau ought to look and see how much DL time there is now for strains. It's incredible. Springer's not going to be back till the 4th of July. You watch. By the time he does his recovery and his rehab, he will be back on the 4th of July, Memorial Day,
Yeah.
earliest.
Now, Dom, there is something to that. Good call. Well done. More to do. We continue here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Don't go away.